Hello, we're back. Number 52 today, and second one of the week, second of number 3. We'll be back tomorrow, and as I said yesterday, not doing one Friday because I'm probably going to be off most of the day. So now, what's going up? What's going on? I heard a cracker on a podcast today, and it's from someone I know, used to work with, used to help me out, and he and his business partner now do a podcast where they talk about things, and the phrase that came up that reminded me of the same phrase which I'd heard from him before, which was Monday doesn't know it's Monday. And I laughed when I heard it because I remember the time and the place I was with that individual when he said it to me before, a good few years ago now. And I thought it was one of the best things I'd heard, but I'd forgotten about it. So Monday doesn't even know it's Monday. What does that mean? So as the individual in question explains on the podcast earlier today, how many people say something like, Happy Friday, or Hump Day Wednesday. It's Wednesday, it's Hump Day, we're nearly there. Or, geez, can't believe it's Monday tomorrow. They get the Sunday scaries or the Sunday fear or whatever. It's like the day in the week determines what form they're in, basically. Monday doesn't even know it's Monday. Monday doesn't know it's the day that people dread. And to the point of the podcast as well, how many people say Happy Monday? Now, I'm not going to start saying Happy Monday because there's no real reason in particular to say it. I suppose you could say happy every day because how fortunate are we to be around for an hour day, for an hour week, for an hour month. But what's my point to this? Point is, it ties into a thing I've spoken about before, which is something I'm trying to be more conscious of, particularly as I'm running my own business, is that they're just days. They're just things that happen. They're not good days, they're not bad days, they're not good things, they're not bad things. They just are. I mean, they just happen. And I think to try and remain on a relatively balanced mind, or to approach your business with a balanced mindset most of the time, or a level head, you have to get quite good at thinking like that. And what I mean by thinking like that, it's quite accepting of the fact that even when things are exceptionally good, it's probably important not to get too carried away. The same way when things feel really bad, time will pass, you know. And in business, because it's not as important as other things in life, I think it is much more simple to take that attitude. In your personal life, when things are going on, you know, you've got someone sick in your family, you yourself are not doing well, insert 22-hour stressors and strains that could be affecting you, it's much harder to maybe think like that. So if there's an aspect of your life where you can apply a more stoic or level-headed mindset, or apply a layer of acceptance that, oh, something happened, that's fine. You know, what are we going to do? We need to do anything about it? No? Okay, great. You know, I think it's important. But the Monday doesn't even know it's Monday one really struck a chord with me because A, I hadn't heard it in a while, but B, I just think it's a brilliant way to look at things. Like, Sunday is as good a day as any other. Tuesday's a great day. I mean, they're all just days. We bunch them together in groups of 7, and there are 52 of them in a year, and there are whatever number of years, and that's it, you know. But there are just, it is a repetitive cycle for us, but in reality each of these days have there's no connection between them. They're just opportunities to, I suppose, have a good life, do your best, try and in my case, make a good video or write a good post or help a client out or whatever it is. And again, in the context of what I'm doing, you can only do your bit, but all I'm really trying to do is help some great people who run agencies, help them find greater success in their life, and hopefully that enables them to do the things they want to do and do the things they want to do with their family and their friends. And if I do that well, that'll help me do the same with the people that I love. So see, some interesting thoughts. I think for me, why this is important to even just share and talk about it, I don't know. I think you can cut into it's easy for me to jump into the nitty gritty or the weeds or talk about something relating to agencies, but just in the middle of a week when, as discussed, there's been a few weeks where, there hasn't been much progress in the business, but guess what? It's still there, it's doing great, and that's it, It's doing great. Even there, I described it as doing great. What does great mean? It's doing great in relation to the fact that 9 months ago there was no business. It's doing great in relation to the fact that I set a few objectives for Q1 and again in Q2 this year, and those objectives are being hit or are on track to being hit. So that's my measure of great. Is it great compared to Johnny down the road's business? I have no idea, and it doesn't matter because I'm not competing against Johnny. So yeah, just trying to come at these. I think in particular they said, but we come this week. Look, today's Wednesday. What does that mean? It's another day to make a bit of progress and try and help some people out, and that's all I'm trying to do here. So anyway, beyond that, what other thoughts do we have? Put out a post yesterday and again today. I think for me there were two interesting topics. I'll touch quickly on the one today, which, if you can just pull it up quickly for a second, there's a specific part of it I'd like to hone in on and flesh out a bit. So something that's come up a lot, that actually I would almost go as far as to say it is very much a part of at least a few of the clients I'm working with and their businesses, is that in smaller agencies, a lot of the time, if not all the time, the owner will remain kind of the last line of defense. What I mean by that is they'll have to put out the fires with clients, or they'll have to handle the really tricky situations with clients, and it's not by design, it's just by default. And that is all right for a while, but what I really always try and say to owners is, okay, in the same way you maybe outsource something like accounting quite early on, or you outsource or delegate certain things, this idea that you default to being the point of escalation for client issues, actually, unless you want it to be like that, unless you have a system built around you so that is the case, it's something you pretty much want to move away from. There's any owner can handle an issue with a client, or I'd expect them to be able to. The issue is that whenever you scale up your number of clients, and clients then have an expectation that you will actually be there to jump in, that's when it becomes an issue. And an issue meaning you become a blocker, you set an incorrect / false expectation of yourself for your clients, particularly the key ones, because if a key client has a problem that the team can't fix and you fix it, you're almost saying, oh well, they're important, so I'll handle it. There's a range of things, and I speak about some of them in that post, but there's a range of things around this topic that are just create difficult scenarios for you as an owner down the line. These are the types of things that when you log on Monday morning, you'd rather not face, to come back to this idea of Monday. But the broad point here is just, I think for some reason, probably due to the nature of how these things happen internally, one of the last things to be systemized is pretty much problems or issues with clients, because it feels too important, or it feels like we need the big dogs or the senior people involved to handle this, for fear of losing an account. Now, very early on, completely get it. To be honest, if you've got a team of less than 5, 6, 7, 8 people, it's going to be the founder involved anyhow. But it's when you get to that point, as I say, of between like 8 to 10, 12 people and upwards, at that stage, then you really want to have something in place that allows you to not have to be that person, as I say, by default. And if you want to design it in a way that you're the best person to handle those things, perfect. But anyway, that was the main kind of thought this week, or at least today. And yeah, beyond that, I don't really have too much else to share. I mean, it's a fairly typical afternoon lined up, a bit of content to do. The main thing over the next day or two then is going to relate to what I outlined in the objectives yesterday, which is, yeah, just trying to really tighten up the system I'm using to manage clients. The first part of that is going to be internal for myself. So I'm going to do this in 2 parts. It's basically, what do I need to have better visibility on? What do I need to set up better internally to help me run more client counts? Second part is going to be specifically, what do the clients need to see, or what can I do better for the clients in terms of a dashboard or whatever it is. So first part is this week, second part is next week. And as I said yesterday, I pretty much know what I need to do, so I will block the time today and tomorrow to do the internal piece, and then next week will be the outward facing side. So anyway, bit of a ramble today. I kind of feel like I need to get back into the flow doing these, so these are probably a bit all over the place, but yeah. Main thoughts today: Monday doesn't know it's Monday, and I'll put a link to that podcast down below. And yeah, owners, if you can, try not to be that point of escalation unless you really want to be, because it just ends up being tricky for you down the line. Anyway, that's it. I'm going to crack on with work. Enjoy the rest of the day, whatever you're up to, and I will be back tomorrow.